Welcome to Cup Fuss and Explore with Mo. My name is Maurice and this is my co-host Maxine, and today we will be talking about why do men lie and welcome back to Cup Fuss and Explore with Mo. My name is Maurice and this is my co-host Maxine, and today we will be talking about why do men lie.
Also touching bases on Women's Month and why it is important for women to know their worth.
Yes, and today our first guests will be Nadia Jefter and Cheryl Dean. So we will find out what they have in the pocket for us. Nadia Jefter and Geraldine, welcome to my show.
Lying should not even be a thing. Like if you are
Mic check 1 2. Cup fuss and explore with Mo. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. Cup fuss. Mic check 1 2.
you know what?
Cup
This is
fuss
the problem.
and explore with Mo.
You can tell us from your perspective why men shouldn't lie, you as well, and then Maxine, please, from your side as well.
Okay, firstly, men and women shouldn't lie. So let's start there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary. I feel, you know what, the world will be so. For me, my mantra is that I'm honest. Whether it's gonna hurt your feelings or not, I'm gonna be honest. That's just the way I live my life. If I can find someone that matches that energy, then we'll be good. But I will know if he doesn't. But that's on me as well. It's also my responsibility to know, what someone is capable of in terms of them willing to share everything with you. Because I think that's what it's about as well. Because there's an ugly side and a good side to everybody. So it's your willingness to actually accept someone else's shit, essentially, as well as your own.
True.
So men and women shouldn't lie because it's just unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Admin.
Geraldine?
I totally agree with Nadia. Like lying should not even be a thing. Like if you are not comfortable with being your full self for that person, if you feel like you need to lie to begin with, is just wrong. Like just get out of there as soon as possible. Lying should not even be a thing. Like there's so much mental repercussions that go with it. Like you really mess up somebody mentally. And sometimes people want to say, what it has to do with, okay, I saw my mother lie to my father, so my father lied to your mother. It's on you to break generational curses. Like everything is on you. If you lie, it's on you. If you tell the truth, it will also be on you. If you put pure intentions out into the universe, it will definitely come back. So that's just me.
I like that.
Yeah. Sweet. Next?
I definitely think it goes both ways. Like everyone lies. It's not just men that lie. I do believe that your lie, it's gonna affect someone. To you, it might seem like it's just a quick little lie. But lies hurt and it genuinely stings. Men should just stop lying.
Yeah.
It does not make sense.
Yeah.
If you are lying to your partner and you're afraid of how she might react, just deal with it. You know that, okay, I told you the truth and I was truthful and so be it.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a lot of admin and just so unnecessary for men to lie.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with all three of you. It's just beautiful to know you can motivate and actually give our guys out there some hope, in terms of the last time we said, at least, it's lies is part of us. But if you try, at least, that's a first start and a first step towards moving towards the truth. In everything and with everybody, whatever it is you are doing or who you are doing it with.
Yeah.
So try. Thank you very much. So guys, me bro, keep up. Like Tupac was saying, baby, you gotta keep your head up, because the road is hard. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving towards Women's Month. The power, what I call the alpha of life, the woman, because she actually gives life to anybody, to a man and to a woman. This is something that I think you guys are going to be strong in. This is something, it's a topic that I feel that everybody wants to talk about it, especially because they feel like now is a time, we're moving into a time where woman is actually more empowered while moving in that direction, and not everybody's getting used to that thing of, no, it should be the guy, it should be the man. Because women nowadays, I strongly believe, they are slowly taking over the ropes to actually start ruling everything around us. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it's about time, and we should actually, this is the platform now where we're going to inspire a woman out there to say, do more of this, do more of this, do more of that. If there is something that you guys feel that should be shared with him, please, now is the time to tell us what it is. What do you guys think?
I feel like as a woman, like it's a little bit harder for you to like go, go for things like. So I work at a big retail company, right? And my HR director, she's like the only woman like above, like she's like the only woman that's sitting on the board. And you know what? She's so down to earth. And sometimes we talk a lot, and the one thing she would always tell me, she would be like, you know what, Geraldine, like, if you have something and it's here, then you better make sure that it's here as well. And then I never understood, and I went down, I was like, oh, what is this woman saying? She's, everything she says just sounds so philosophified.
Philosophical, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then the more I thought about it, if something's here for a woman, if you have something here, and you can get it here, you can definitely get it here. If you have an idea, if you have a business idea, if there's things that you want out of life, if it's here, it's definitely gonna manifest here as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So
True.
that's me.
Okay. Powerful.
Yeah.
It's like manifesting anything, I grew up with women all around me, strong women, and I grew up on the platteland. And, they have taught me something, especially my great-grandma and my grandma. They have taught me how to actually be responsible from a very, very early stage of my life. So I believed in what they told me, what they showed me, because I believed that it was the only way and it was the right way. And that's why in today's time, wherever I went, whatever I was doing, I always had the utmost respect for women in the smallest things. And that's where it started, with when you plant something. What she told me is in turn, like, treat it like how you treat me. And I used to call her Ma. How do you treat me on a daily basis? And that's how you should actually treat the seed when you plant it. It's the way you plant it, because the way you plant it is how it's going to grow. You know what I mean? And that's why when I lost my two aunts, it was the saddest thing ever in my life, because I knew, well, I still know what those two women meant for me in my life. You know what I mean? So when I see something going on in today's time with our women, in terms of not owning up who they are and the worth they have, it's a problem for me. It's a problem for me. And I'm moving in circles and in places and in circumstances where I see a lot of women doing things, saying things, and are scared to stand firm on their 2 feet to say, but this is who I am. This is what I do, And yes, where that goes, a whole lot of other things, but maybe makes them feel, like inferior, but also at the same time, like, they don't feel like they have, man, I don't know.
You know what?
It's just,
This is the problem. The masculinity of men is too fragile. And that causes women to not want to take that step, because they don't wanna step on the man's toes. You know what I mean? They still want the man to feel like a man because they're doing all. But at the end of the day, masculinity comes from what? What does masculinity actually come from? Because a woman can be masculine.
definitely.
A man can be feminine. Do you know what I mean? So it's also about balancing both your masculine and your feminine energy, so that everything can work in harmony.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you be with someone that's like mostly just masculine energy, and you someone that's naturally, also want to be dominant, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because those type of men, they tend to go for the more submissive type of female.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
True.
So it's about knowing your balances and about knowing your worth ultimately.
Yeah, and I think also, coming from that point of view, in what's going on in our country at this moment as well, a lot of rape, a lot of murders of our women and of our small children, kids, babies over the age of 4, 3 years old, and it's mostly happened to our, females. And it's a problem, and I don't know. It's almost I think, and I shouldn't say this, and I don't know what I'm gonna start, but I think I blame the mother. I blame the mother for not actually see the worth coming from her side of taking control of her child from such a young age.
Can I
I don't.
can I just
don't
can I just say I don't specifically think it's just the mother's job, but definitely the father as well.
Yeah.
Because that boy or that man might have seen his father or uncle, grandfather react a certain way, and to him that might feel like that's a norm, and that's why he's gonna go out into the world and do the same to an innocent young lady.
But also, life's a classroom.
Yeah.
You learn lessons and you pass those lessons down. My mother, she may not have done everything right, but I always knew that she did what she knew. What she was taught. She taught me. I'll take those lessons. I'll pass it down to my child, and and so it goes on. But you need to pass those lessons. You need to break those generational curses, as you say.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to say that you blame the mom, because why are you blaming the mother?
You know why I say that? Because I get where you guys coming from, and the reason why I say I sort of blame the mother, because if you look at the circumstances in like all genres, in terms of where we come from, like what we call or what they call these days the ground level, then you get your middle class and then you get your rich, right? So in the ground level, certain things happens to our women that we think like we're not worth, because we don't get seen that way. In the middle class, money kind of plays a role there, because that will make you feel like the woman have a certain standard, right? Because now she can provide and she can take care of, because what is power? Power is money.
But don't you think then it's much deeper than that?
It is deeper than that. That's why I'm saying I sort of blame the mother, because if we on the ground level can see that it's not about the money, it's not about what that person have that's middle class or rich class, where you are in your circumstances in life, that was maybe put down there for you. Therefore, you can take control of the situation.
But not everybody's aware of that.
I know.
During those times of our mothers, they didn't have access to everything that we have access to be able to have that representation, able to know, okay, there are other people out there like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
because we have that right now, we also have that responsibility to pass that information on, like they did with us.
Yes.
But my child's definitely not going to blame me for doing the best I could.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, definitely. But you see, that's what I'm saying. In terms of us that maybe knows a little bit more or better, how do we actually pass down that information? Do you get what I'm saying? Or that learning curve to our
Through action. Yes.
So where do we start with that action?
We start small.
And how? What is that small step?
So for me, for example, I started a charitable organization with my mom and my brother called Grateful Giving. So we do that once a month. We do blanket drives, we do tampon drives, we do mask drives, we do everything.
Yeah.
That's how you start, and that's going to be a family thing that we pass down.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by doing small
Some
things
things.
like that that can impact your community in a positive way.
Yeah.
Because it starts with us. You know what I mean? It's pointless pointing fingers.
Yeah.
It only starts with us.
Now, Nade, I'm going to ask you this: in what neighborhoods are you actually passing down this? Where do you guys go?
We were at Nova Park last month. We did a blanket drive. We gave over 600 blankets. Where people donated from all over South Africa. They donated money, and then we went and we got the blankets, and a lot of people donated blankets as well. And then we went out to Nova Park, and I posted a video, which was another story, because obviously I was brought up to not post about doing charity ever. My great grandmother, she said, never post your charity, never post. But for me, it's like I found myself caught between a rock and a hard place, because I have this platform and I'm using it to post everything else. So why not post what can actually make an impact in some kind of way, and that was a whole debate as well, because people were like, how are you posting this?
Yeah.
But I preserved people's dignity. I blurred out the children's faces. People had masks on. We provided masks for people who didn't have masks. Everything was protocol.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, if you have a platform, especially if anybody can have a platform these days, then you must use it as well, in a good way.
And so I'm going to ask you this question as well. So when you guys went out there and did all of this, did you guys just go out there and give the blankets, or did you actually approach some of these women out there, like say, who are these people on the ground level, right? In terms of, don't take the blanket as a sign or as in terms of, but is there actually like a power motive behind the reason why you guys go out there and give a blanket? And it's the same thing, because a lot of charity people, they go out and give food, and I understand it. It comes from a good place. I understand that. But we miss sometimes, and I'm not saying you guys, we miss sometimes the in-between. Like, why do we give the blankets? Why do we give the food to the people on the ground, Do we just give there to be seen, what you say now, to be seen on social media like I'm giving back? Or are you going there to actually say, I want to change your circumstances, man. I want to change the fact I'm giving you one blanket now, but tomorrow you're going to come back to me with 2 blankets.
At the end of the day, it's a commitment that you are making, and they need to know that you are committed to them.
Yeah.
Because if they feel like you are committed to them, then they're gonna feel like there's actually hope.
Yeah.
And when we go in, there's a whole setup, because we have family, and whoever wants to give off their homes, they'll give off their homes like as a station, and we'll set up from there. So everyone will help, people in the community, they will help us as well.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Yeah.
And we encourage people to come out and help us. We don't get a lot of people coming out on a Sunday, but we always try and encourage people to come if they can.
And I know, Maxine, you are from Biala. I mean, that's also one of the areas where we know poverty and crime is very strong. And where does women actually feature there in Biala, from what you know? Where and how do they feature?
A lot of women in my area tend to just keep to themselves. They are just so used to doing what they need to do and staying indoors, cooking, cleaning, looking after kids, and that is their norm. And like we said earlier, a lot of those women do not know their self-worth, and they tend to just let themselves go, which to me is it's an issue. I find a big issue in you letting yourself go and you not knowing your worth, because everyone, you are worth something. So I definitely would have to say that women should know their worth.
Yeah. Now, do you see where I come from in terms of sort of blame?
They should know their worth. They
should
should
know.
know. A lot of people should do a lot of things, but until you see it for yourself, you can't really speak on the experience of someone. You can't. You don't know what that person's been through. That so much trauma has just caused them to have a block to everything that allows a little bit of light in.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me here, but it's also the simple thing is to know that you are equal. For our woman on the floor, if that's what, I shouldn't say that, but if the mindset of knowing that I'm equal to anybody, man, I can work in shop right now packing bags. But if a woman walks in there that she's a lawyer, obviously she's going to be dressed different, whatever. But we are equal.
You know what? I think it goes deeper than a man and a female being equal. I also believe that, like, if you're going to go to a shopping, what's a mall, and you see a cleaner sweeping the floors, or you have respect and you treat them as your equal. That, I think, in general, as humans, we should treat each other equally. I don't think it's a man-female thing. I just think in general, like status, everything, it should be equal. In terms of how we treat each other as human beings.
Yeah, but I'm only specifically talking about women now, because sometimes I feel, and I'm so sorry for mentioning it every time, the ghetto and the ground people. If someone that, let's say, I'm going to make an example now. Someone from TV they maybe come from Joburg, right? And they're coming to visit or make an appearance in Biala, right? Immediately when they know someone from TV, like this woman, I'm talking about woman now, coming in and making an appearance here, they have this expectation of coming to have a treatment there. The TV personality. And this is something that I know that I've seen as well, that I'm making an example of it. Because they don't know actually as into what they're coming, their purpose of coming there. Because there's a person, there's a lady that wants some inspiration, that wants some motivation from you. But you're coming here to this area with something that, okay, I'm coming with this, and if it's not this standard, because you are lower than me. You get what I'm saying? And I think most of the times that's why we have the fights between people that comes into the hood and they say, but no, when they come there, they have attitudes. Why do they have attitudes? Because they need to come in there to say, oh, but we're on the same level. You're not better than me. We are equal.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Please do.
So me, for example, because of, my platform or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, people have a preconceived idea of who I am. Like before we started this, you said, Nadia, it's fine if you want to jump here and dance here or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, yo, this Brad doesn't know me actually. You know what I mean? And that's fine because that's what I want you to also think, because my online persona is very different to who I actually am. So maybe when these people are coming into these places where they think maybe they're better than you, maybe it's just a persona. You know what I mean? Because that's the character that they're playing. And the person that's perceiving it that way, they already also had, they already also had a preconceived idea of who this person is.
Yeah.
So both parties already have this wall up. Anyway. So I think it's also like, as much as someone's coming into an area maybe thinking they're better than that person, the people that are also receiving should also be open to the fact that maybe there's a little bit more than what meets the surface.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe.
It makes a lot of sense.
Because that happens to me all the time when people meet me and they're like, yo, I thought you were going to be mad, jumping up and down. And I'm like, yo, I'm really like a chill person,
Yeah.
So,
but that's exactly what we talked about earlier as well, in terms of what you portray on social media, and that's the type of person that people want at that moment, at the time, the entertainer. But now you come in as yourself, but now you are
still who I am. It's an extension of who I am, But it's not like, that's not the core of who I am. That's not, there's other values that I have.
Yes.
And I'm slowly trying to creep into my little platform.
So as a woman of today, Geraldine, what is there that you can do that actually or that you can do to change some of our women's mindsets out there, what we busy talking about right now?
Okay, so for me, I come from a very, I don't know if you want to call it disadvantaged area, or I don't even know what you want to call it. So, a little brief about me. I felt pregnant when I was like 16. I went down to school, and then everybody was like, how could the head girl fall pregnant? She's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it. Yes, and how could she fall pregnant and stuff? And then I remember that I fell pregnant, and even teachers would be like, you know what, it's over for you. You're not gonna do it. I had to humble myself so much. I went to work in a bookstore. I paid like 2,000 rand a month. I had to give my mother 1,000 rand. Imagine living with 1,000 rand for a month. Okay? At this point, I had a son already. So you now need to pay, you should live for yourself and you for your son with that 1,000 rand. Eventually I decided, you know what, this is not me, man. I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of, and how smart I am. Let's apply to uni, sir. Let's go study. Went to go study HR. Eventually I went from being in the retail environment and then going into head office, and I work at the head office, and everybody's like, you're doing so good. And those same people that were talking about you, those same people that are asking you, hello, so kill any means, because you must now in HR and stuff. But what I'm trying to come at is that you need to be honest with yourself. You need to know your worth. It's about you. You know, I'm always like this. Like people can talk down on me as much as you want. Like if something's here and if something's here, nobody's gonna stop me. Like a woman with dream, a woman with ambition. No, we are unstoppable. That's just the point. Like if you don't dream, you might. I don't know. It's just that's just me.
Yeah, and so
Like I want other women to dream. So I live in an area where these girls don't dream. I live in an area where girls just want to go to matric. Nadia, I won't lie to you. They just want to have matric and go work in a store. There's no aftermath. There's no plan. It's
But
just
it's like if you ask someone that's never traveled, would you rather travel the world or get an expensive car? They're gonna choose the car because they don't know what they're missing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like if that's how it starts, it starts at the bottom where you have to start empowering from the bottom so
Yeah.
that they can get a taste and they want more and more and more. But that again, it starts with us.
Yeah,
it does.
it's true, and it goes back to what you guys are doing. In terms of your charity company, it's like, and I'm not saying that this is what you must do.
No.
I'm just saying in terms of just a general thing, like people like you guys, who's very strong out there on social media and well known out there, right? Going down or going back to knowingly a woman on the ground, they're not really informed with the recipe why you guys are where you guys are. Do you get what I'm saying? So I suggested with some of the companies that I've worked with, instead of giving water or something like that, go and have a ceremony where you guys give information. Because information is the stuff that actually will make that person warm. It will make that person feel like I am worth it. Instead of giving a blanket, because our people they take offense very quickly when you bring them something. Oh, dink jy ek het die water bereis of dink jy ek het die wat dink jy? Instead of doing that, if they know a personality is coming to our ghetto, make them feel like I feel like I'm coming to give you something, so tomorrow you can stand with that information and carry it on till you're 50, 60, 70. Because that blanket is going to wear out in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. But the information is going to sit forever because she came and actually taught me something that I'm going to do something with. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that's something that we need to, and I'm including myself, should start doing and make our women feel that, you are worth so much more. I'm coming to you with actually something that you're going to take it, man.
Yeah.
Not take it or leave it, take it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually partnering with a mental health organization as well, aside from the grateful giving, but also like what you said now, you need to dedicate that time and actually give them something that they can take away, and it starts with also the youth, the female youth, even the male youth, just teaching them from a young age about love, about the simple foundations of being a good human being even, So, and mental health, especially now during this time, you have parents that are maybe suffering and they're taking it out on their children, and those children are going to grow up and the cycle's going to continue, so, just
Definitely,
carrying on with your point of actually committing to making the change instead of going once a year or once every 6 months, show face, cool, sharp, I'll see you next. You know what I mean? It's more than that.
It's important. I think it's very important to actually feed our women of today information in terms of standing strong. And the thing that I know, people are also, the self-reflection thing. They're not every time happy with how they look and what they have, and it's soos hulle sê, so almost as dit week op my gat. I can't stand it when people can't say, but this is who I am and I'm beautiful, man.
Yeah.
This is who I am. I mean, and not to, Maxine used to be, one of us, one of me, and then she transformed into this beautiful woman that you are today. And
I love one of us.
Like, you're not with them anymore, girl. You're with us now.
Honey.
You get what I'm saying? And that's inspirational, It's because she made peace with what she felt. And she changed for the better. And look at how happy she is today, you know what I mean? And that should be an inspiration to our young women, young kids, young men out there, not to be shy in terms of who you are.
I feel like it's not, I'm not just speaking amongst trans people, but I'm just speaking amongst men and women in general. If you're unhappy with yourself, take on whatever is going to make you happy and
Yeah.
go with it.
Yeah.
Like, life is too short, and especially in the times that we are living today, that I'm going to sit with
Life is
myself
too short.
being unhappy constantly. And anything in life, like whatever you are unhappy about, relationship, your job, yourself, like, take things on and make the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I was a skinny ass guy. I always want to be fat, and that's my goal. I want to be fat. It's an ugly word, I know that, but I'm chasing that.
But that's
and
what
I'm
makes you
chasing myself.
happy.
Exactly, because I want to be fat.
Because yeah, and a lot of people are going to be like, "Why would you want to be fat?"
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
No one wants to be fat.
And I get
but
that.
it makes you happy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with
Yeah.
being a bit chubby.
Yeah, because for my personal reasons is that I'm short, and because I'm skinny, the two does not gel together. I don't look good when I'm small and skinny. You know what I mean? It does not. So for me, I needed to put something on the table that I can chase. Besides my success and besides whatever, I need something that I think that's gonna make me feel good because
As long
but-
as you're not like, harming yourself.
No, not
as
at
long
all.
as
Yeah.
you're being healthy.
No,
And
because I've made peace with the fact that I have a very fast metabolism. So what do I do with that? I eat more oily stuff. I do more heavy lifting stuff. But in terms of any other factors that's going to help me there, that's not what I'm interested in, because at the end of the day, I still want to be healthy,
Yeah.
but happy at the same
Yes.
time. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to, and I can't do it, but I'm actually looking for this platform to motivate our women, besides what everybody else is doing out there with the self-defense, and make them aware of how to stand up for yourself, how to defend yourself. But also, the most important thing is, if you have knowledge, if you know your worth, that's the power tools that you need in today's time.
you're sharing his knowledge. Sharing knowledge is free.
It's
You can
free.
And
use your-
also sharing your knowledge with other women, like empowering each other. Like, I dislike it when I see one woman not rooting for another woman's success. Like, I don't understand that. Like, we've all went through issues and a time in our life where we felt alone, and that there's no other, I'm going to specifically say woman, that's gonna have my back. And especially with what you said about people looking down upon you for
Yeah.
having your child. Like, if there was just that one person that was like, look, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna make it, that's all you need. It's like, you're gonna be okay. This is just a little thing that's happened in your life, but it doesn't determine who you are as a woman. And I feel like we all just need that person. And look at you now, like, you can be a voice for so many other women, which is so important.
Yeah, and I think, to be the voice, the three voices of a woman today, and to give some information or inspiration to us, to all the listeners and the viewers, coming from you, Maxine, in terms of just a quick analyzing, you was, and people didn't want it to accept who you become, right? You had those people. So I want to ask you, what did you actually do to overcome that and make them believe what you believe in today?
So
Because we don't know, because we don't know if there's more of you out there who's actually looking for something what you can feed them.
look, I always told myself that, look, things are not okay now. It's not going to be okay tomorrow. Next year will probably still not be okay. But one day it's going to be okay. And I learned to just not give two shits about what people think about me or what their opinions are, because they are not living my life, I am. So I would just, to someone listening, I would just say, continue to do what makes you happy. And things are not going to be okay right now, but one day things will be. And before you know it, it's just going to be water over duck's back, whatever people has to say about you.
Yeah, and that's coming straight from a transgender who is beautiful, who is actually doing her. And if you can't accept that, sorry, take some time. When you accept it, hit me up. Geraldine, you said that even teachers couldn't accept the fact that you as a woman got a child at the age of 16. You went through a certain process for people to actually accept. You are 20, what today?
I'm 24.
24 today. So it's almost, 6 years later.
8 years.
8 years later. My calculation is out there. So just a little inspiration there for our women out there to say, how you have progressed and how you have become the woman that you are today through that process actually that you went through.
Um, Sometimes things happen in your life to shape you. And if you are trying to pretend that it didn't happen, that's you just going away from what life is trying to teach you. Sometimes things really do happen to shape you. Like I was thinking about it, like on my son's birthday in April. I was like, oh, imagine I didn't have a child. I wouldn't have been as hungry as I am right now. I am hungry. Everything I do it full force. Like there's no. I'm not hesitating. I'm not like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. No, I am me unapologetically every day.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have a son, I wouldn't be like that. So I was like, this was God. Like,
Yeah.
don't ever, ladies, don't ever forget God. God is in every situation, even if it rains, if it pours, if it storms, if the sun shines, if there's new offspring, it's God all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing that I've been learning. It's every day. It's God. Everything, the pain, the hurt, everything is God.
Yeah.
You just need to go with it. It's
Yeah.
just God everywhere.
That's why it's safe to say that, sometimes, and I think I heard the saying yesterday, everything that God has put on our road or on our path, these obstacles, it's not always bad. It's not always bad. There's a reason why all of these things happens in our lives, because it depends on us, our decision, or what you said earlier on. How am I going to take it? Am I going to take it as a learning curve, or am I going to take it as a downfall?
Yeah.
Because, and especially what you took it as a lesson, and here you're sitting, you're seeing, and you're still teaching that, and that's what I like about people. That, it's the same mind process like that. Take this thing, man. Whatever is happening in your life, take it as a learning curve and make it a better thing.
But you see, with you, for example, you had a choice, right?
Yeah.
You chose to work harder for your son. And a lot of the time when women are faced with these choices, they choose the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then because of that, that's the lessons that they teach to their children.
Yeah.
So because of it, you'll teach, your son to be independent and to treat his woman with the most respect because of what you've been through. Because of that choice that you made. So it all actually comes from just one choice sometimes.
Yeah, true that, yeah. So Nadia, that brings us to you. I mean, I know that you've been at first influencer, and then you got some backlash about
Hey, can't keep
jumping
up with
into,
all my different...
jump into music, and then a lot of
yeah.
people start judging you for that, you know what I mean? And yet again, you as a woman, doing the stuff that you're doing on social media, and to make it mind shift to do music and stuff that people didn't know about you, because you just came out of a closet, and it shocked people like it, which I love. I love it when you shock people like it, in general. Because, people tend to put you in a box.
I
and
don't
say,
like people's naffs, man. I don't like to talk about things when
Ah,
people put their negative
yes,
vibes on it and
yeah.
they give me their limiting beliefs and it's like, I like to do things and then say, look here, here's the day, done.
That's true.
So
That's true.
bye, bye.
Yeah.
So that's my
Yeah.
strategy with life. But the music, I just feel like as a creative person, you have all these outlets. You're given all of these talents so that you can have an outlet. I think if you're gonna box yourself, especially as a woman, it's the most depressing thing in the world.
Yeah.
If you don't have that outlet just to do what you want to do because you can do it, because you feel like doing, no matter if people think it's good or not, it doesn't matter. If you had fun doing it, if you enjoy putting it out, if you just love it, then it doesn't matter what people are gonna say. And people don't get that about me, man. Like the more they tell me, you can't do this, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's just the person. That's who I was brought up to be. It's not listen to anybody that tells me I can't do something.
So
Just
you don't
because they don't feel like maybe they can do it for whatever reason. I'm not stopping anybody from doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
People make as if I'm standing here with a big board saying you can't do this. No. If anything, I'm trying to. I didn't have the most confidence growing up. You know what I mean? So I didn't like the way I looked. I got laser eye surgery. I wore spectacles for most of my life. I was like overweight. So I wasn't the most confident. So now that I have this confidence in this stage of my life, I'm thinking, you know what? I wasted so many years, like just not
Laser
loving.
surgery, you say?
LASIK. Eye surgery.
Did you have?
Yeah. Spectacles.
Did you used to wear spectacles?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, from like the age of like 7. Yeah, when I moved here, I actually got spectacles.
So you actually done that part for you because you didn't feel confident enough and you had to do something so you can feel a little bit
I
more.
did a lot of things because I wanted to feel more confident. If I felt like shaving my, okay, I shaved my hair off for cancer, but it wasn't.
remember
It
that
was an
time, yeah.
empowering thing.
Thing,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? It was
yes.
so empowering. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, my hair's gone. What you
Yeah.
like? What you
Yeah.
gonna think is sexy now? Like also that
Yeah.
element to it, man.
Yeah.
You know, so I also feel like as a woman at this stage in my life in particular, because I've been through the heartbreak and this and that and the whatever mental stuff. So it's like now I can confidently say that I love myself and I'm an amazing person. You know what I mean? And when people say that, when people hear other people say that about themselves, they immediately go into this attack mode, like, how dare you love yourself?
Yeah.
No, like, how dare am I not to love myself?
You need to
Like,
be your
okay.
number one supporter.
Exactly.
100%. I also think like people hate or they have negative things to say because they are afraid of being their honest truth, living their honest truth and being their honest self. Like definitely.
I just think that if I'm just the type of person where if I put something, if I feel like I did my best and it was the good job, for me it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
anybody else says.
100%.
Honestly.
There
If
we
you
go.
to get to that point in your life, it's a gift, you know. And when you have it, you can't ever go backwards.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Once women actually know their worth, like once they truly know, once we know our worth as a collective,
You can move the world.
we
It's
can move
over.
on.
You can move the world. Well, there you have it, ladies of South Africa. I mean, it's a very strong message out there for you guys. I believe in the same thing what these three ladies have said today. I mean, one is that Nadia was saying that you don't have to be boxed. Be creative. Know yourself that you can do a lot of things besides what people know you as. And as Geraldine was saying, you know, be all the obstacles that we face. Don't always take it as a negative thing that you feel you need to go sit in a corner when something bad happens to you. Take it as a curve, as a learning curve, and learn from it. Take it, pick it up, and put it on your shoulder and move forward. Because that's the only way that you will see yourself within a day, 2 years, 3 years, who knows. But always keep a positive side. And as what Maxine was saying, you know, just be happy. Accept you for who you are. If you're not happy, I mean, you're going to make everybody else sad around you or unhappy. So please, ladies out there, this is an urge from my side as a man, you know. If there is anybody out there who needs help with anything, please contact. We will put up our contacts about what is happening here. So we want to encourage you guys. We want to help where we can. So feel free to tap in and have a good life. God bless. And this is yet again Cup Fuss and Explore with Mo. Yeah.